everyone, welcome to Coffee, Love, and Books. I'm Michelle, and this is my reading vlog slash October wrap-up video. I'm just filming the intro really quickly, just to kind of explain what I'm doing. So I'm going to be doing this wrap-up in like intervals and explaining, probably just going over Stormlight first, and then like you'll see. It's kind of chaotic, but I'm excited to kind of merge these two things because I just have not been reading enough to justify a reading vlog in and of itself, and I like reading vlogs, so I don't want them to go away. But I'm really excited to share what I read this month with you guys and just check in with you along the way in the video. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you as I check in. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna start off with the first book I finished this month, which is The Great Gatsby by Scott Fitzgerald. I really enjoyed this book. I love the 20s and getting to geek out over the 20s in 2020 with this gem of a book was so lovely. Also the themes of finance, women, and all this like social class. It was lovely, and I really enjoyed it overall. The character of Gatsby, so complex, so great. I just really, really enjoyed this book. Next, I have And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. And oh my word, this book was so suspenseful, so good. It is about 10 people who are who are brought to this island. They all have been invited there by a certain person through connections and stuff, and they realize once they get there, people start dying. They realize that people are dying according to this poem, 10 Little Soldier Boys, and how each person dies is related to how the poem, the next line of the poem goes. And it was so suspenseful, so good, deep diving into these people's minds. They're all murderers. And when you start thinking most of them are innocent, and as you get to know them throughout the story, as they kind of descend into insanity, you begin to realize that they're really not, and they actually are horrific murderers. And oh my goodness, the ending of this book did not disappoint, and it was masterful, so well done, so suspenseful. It was like my first mystery since Nancy Drew, and I just enjoyed it so thoroughly. then one that I literally read one page of and then realized that not only did I really not have enough time to read it this month, but it's kind of horror, and I don't think I'm ready for horror yet. I want to get into Stephen King. I know this is his more mild book, but the idea of reading a book just to get scared, not very appealing to me right now, and I may wait for this one, or I may jump into it next month. I'm not sure yet. I am still very curious, but I'm in the middle of the Stormlight Archive, which means I think I'm just going to be giving all my energy to this baby right here. So we'll see. Another book I worked on this month via audiobook, because honestly, I promise you, I wanted to get this book physically because suspense and audiobooks do not mix well for me. But for some reason, the Netflix series just came out, and I was like, I want to watch that, but I know the book is great and I want to read it. So I looked everywhere and I put it on hold, and then my hold disappeared. My hold disappeared, and by the time I got back and realized this, there were already like 15 holds on the physical copy. So I went around and I finally found a copy of the audiobook on another library account, and I got that and I've been working on it, but I want the physical copy. So, and we're also working on Rebecca. Not too many thoughts right now. It's very gothic in its feels, in how just like it kind of definitely feels like And Then There Were None or Frankenstein in tone, and like, I don't know, very much inner monologuing. The main character is interesting. She has so many quirks, but she just has so many fantasies, and it's funny because they'll just be reading along and she'll be zipped off into another fantasy of what will happen, and she's like imagining what she'll do and what they'll do. Anyway, Rebecca is about a woman who falls into obsession with this man, and they get married, and she moves to his mansion, and then she kind of starts to realize that everyone is obsessed with his late wife, Aunt Rebecca. And that's kind of where I'm at. She just got to the mansion as far as where I am. I'm a few, maybe like 4 or 5 chapters in right now. But yeah, I have been liking it. It's definitely one of those more slow burn where I'm not always wanting to be reading it, but I have been liking it and listening to it when I can. And finally, the big one for this month, the Wave Kings from the Stormlight Archive. Oh my goodness. I had a lot of trouble getting through the first 400 pages. And then I think around the beginning of this long weekend I finished I got to page 400. And then from there, I've read 300 pages this weekend, and I cannot stop. I've really been loving it. It's just, I did not connect with it the same way I connected with Mistborn, but I think I'm at a place where I'm very much in the story. The objective has been defined. I know what we're going for. I know how certain things are resolved now, and I'm very connected to this world, these characters. I get it now. It took me a while to understand what was happening, but once I did, I'm just totally in the story. If you do not know what the Stormlight Archive is about, it is the story of a guy named Kaladin and a girl named Shalon, and then this dude named Dalinar. And those are the 3 main points of views that we get in this story so far. I don't know yet. Anyway, at the very beginning, in the prologue, someone kills the king, and this sends the kingdom into war, and it's a pretty pointless war. And that, I think, was one of the things with the plot where it's just like, this is, like, there's no reason for this. There's no, like, I guess you're learning more and more about how corrupt the upper class is. And Kaladin is a slave, and you get to see his struggles, and that was kind of boring at first. I didn't connect to Kaladin right away. He felt very much like the broody heartthrob type, like a Stefan Salvatore and Edward. I don't want to compare him to a vampire. He's really not. But just that broody, feels responsible for everyone and everything type, I was not too keen on getting too involved with, because I just, they feel so much responsibility for everything that happens, and it's hard to watch. But as you get to know Kaladin, you begin to love him so much. And I love Syl, I love Rock, I'm starting to fall in love with certain characters, not as quickly as I did with Mistborn, but I am, and I'm really getting into the story, and I'm super excited to keep going, and just, I'm almost done, I promise. I finished part 3 this month, so I think I only have part 4 left, I don't know. So I have that much left, if you can see, and I'm really excited to finish it up. I'm probably going to fail school this next week, just because I'm now in that zone where I cannot stop reading. I literally just stopped filming and realized I completely forgot to outro. Thank you so much for watching my October reading vlog / wrap up. I really enjoyed how I read this month, and oh my goodness, I can't words. Okay. I'm excited to continue on with the Stormlight Archive. That's my main thing. Sorry, my dog's over there making noise. And I'm just really excited. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you on Saturday. I'm posting this late, but thanks for watching. Bye.